The rain doesn't care that Luca Moretti is bleeding. It falls anyway, cold, merciless, turning the rooftop gravel dark beneath his knees. His shirt clings to his ribs where the knife went in. Not deep enough to kill, just deep enough to remind him that survival was never guaranteed. Havenfall glows below him. Neon signs bleed color into puddles. Traffic hums like a distant heartbeat. The city looks almost beautiful from up here. Almost. Luca presses his palm against the wound, feels warmth seep between his fingers. His Omega scent, usually soft, easily ignored, sharpens in the rain. Fear, pain, desperation. It broadcasts everything he's trying to hide. And then the door behind him slams open. Two shadows step onto the rooftop. Identical, broad-shouldered, moving with the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. The De Luca twins, Matteo and Marco, alpha kings of the Southern Syndicate. Men whose names alone could empty a restaurant, shut down a street, end a life before breakfast. Luca's hands tremble as he forces himself to stand. Rain streams down his face. He can't tell if he's shaking from cold or terror. Probably both. Run again, Matteo says, voice low and lethal. And I'll break your legs myself. Luca turns slowly. Matteo stands on the left. Dark hair slicked back by rain. Steel gray eyes that never blink. His suit is tailored perfectly despite the storm. A man who controls everything, including the weather's audacity to touch him. Marco mirrors him on the right. Same face, same build, but his gaze cuts deeper, colder, the kind of cold that doesn't thaw. Twin alphas, born from the same blood, raised in the same violence, different kinds of dangerous. I'm not running, Luca says. His voice cracks. He hates the sound. I came back. Marco's laugh is sharp. You stole from us, and now you think rain makes you brave. I didn't steal for myself. Luca reaches into his jacket with shaking fingers. The movement pulls at his wound. He ignores the pain and pulls out a photograph, crumpled but protected in plastic. A child, no older than 5, dark curls, wide eyes that still believe in goodness. Matteo's expression shifts, just slightly. Our nephew, their only innocent, the orphan pup left when their sister died. The last piece of their bloodline that hasn't been corrupted by bullets and betrayal. He was taken, Luca says. Water drips from his chin. By the Russo crew. They wanted leverage. I tried to buy him back. That money I took. Every cent went to trying to save him. Silence stretches between them. The rain fills the space where gunfire usually lives. Marco's eyes narrow. And you thought you'd succeed alone? One Omega against a mafia crew. I had to try. Luca's voice breaks completely now. I'm nobody. I'm nothing. But he's a child. Someone had to try. That's when Matteo moves. 3 strides and he's there, fist twisted in Luca's collar, hauling him forward until their faces are inches apart. Luca can smell him, pine and smoke and something dangerously magnetic. You don't touch our family, Matteo growls. You don't lie to us. You don't. I'm not lying, Luca whispers. Test me. Smell me. You'll know. Matteo freezes, because he already has. Omega scents don't lie, especially not under stress, especially not this close. No deceit, no manipulation, only fear, desperation, and something else, something dangerously close to devotion. Luca exhales shakily. His ribs ache, his vision swims, but he lifts his chin and meets both their gazes. I know what I did deserves death, he says. So let's make a deal. Both twins go still. You want forgiveness? Marco asks. No. Luca's voice steadies. I want him back. The pup. If my life is the price, take it. If my freedom is the price, take that too. Rain soaks through his hair as he speaks the words that will change everything. I'll belong to you, to both of you. I'll do whatever you demand. My body, my obedience, my loyalty, everything I am. His breath catches. Just save him. The city holds its breath. Twin alphas don't take omegas. They break them, use them, dispose of them like cigarette butts ground into pavement. That's the rule. Yet something in Luca's voice, raw and bleeding and honest, cracks straight through it. Matteo slowly releases his collar. Marco steps closer, eyes searching Luca's face like he's looking for a lie he won't find. You'd give yourself to monsters? Luca doesn't hesitate. If monsters are the only ones strong enough to win, then yes. Another pause. Thunder rolls somewhere distant. Then Marco says, quietly, deal. They don't kill him. Somehow that's worse. Matteo's hand wraps around Luca's arm. Not gentle, but not cruel either. Marco moves to his other side. They flank him like guards escorting a prisoner, or like alphas claiming something fragile. Walk, Matteo says. Luca's legs barely cooperate. Blood loss makes the world tilt. Rain makes the rooftop gravel slick. He stumbles once and Matteo's grip tightens, keeping him upright. Not mercy, just practicality. Dead Omegas can't fulfill bargains. They take him down through the building, a condemned warehouse that smells like rust and rot. Their car waits in the alley, black, expensive. Windows tinted dark enough to hide anything. Marco opens the back door. Get in. Luca slides onto leather seats that probably cost more than everything he's ever owned. The twins sit on either side of him. The door closes with a heavy, final sound. The driver doesn't ask questions, just pulls into traffic. Luca stares at his hands. Blood still stains his fingers. His shirt is ruined. He's shaking so hard his teeth almost chatter. You're bleeding on my upholstery, Marco says flatly. Sorry, Luca whispers. Don't apologize. Matteo's voice comes from his other side. It makes you sound weak. I am weak. Then don't advertise it. They drive through the city in silence. Luca watches Havenfall blur past the window. Neon signs, dark alleys, people living their lives unaware that an Omega just sold himself to devils. The car eventually stops in front of a building that doesn't belong in this neighborhood. Glass and steel rising above the harbor. Security cameras everywhere. Guards at the entrance who nod as the twins pass. Their fortress. Luca's new cage. Inside, everything is marble and money. The lobby echoes with their footsteps. An elevator takes them up 30 floors until the doors open to a penthouse that overlooks the entire city. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, everything sharp angles and cold surfaces. A woman appears, older, stern-faced, carrying a medical kit. She doesn't look surprised to see a bleeding Omega. Clean him up, Marco says. Stitch the wound. Then take him to the east wing. The woman nods. Come with me. Luca follows because he has no other choice. She leads him to a bathroom that's bigger than his old apartment. White tile, a shower with too many knobs. She gestures to a stool. Sit, shirt off. Luca obeys. His fingers fumble with buttons. Everything hurts. She works efficiently, cleaning the wound with something that burns. Stitching it closed with steady hands. Wrapping bandages around his ribs. She doesn't speak except to give instructions. When she's finished, she hands him clean clothes. Soft gray shirt, black pants. They fit perfectly. Somehow they knew his size. Of course they did. They know everything. Follow me. She takes him down a hallway lined with doors. Opens one near the end. The room inside is beautiful. Large bed with white sheets. A window overlooking the harbor. Furniture that matches the rest of the penthouse. Also a lock on the outside of the door. You'll stay here, she says. Don't try to leave. Don't touch anything you're not supposed to. Food will be brought to you. When? Luca's voice cracks. When will they decide what to do with me? Her expression softens. Just slightly. They already decided. You're alive, aren't you? She leaves. The door closes. The lock clicks. Luca stands alone in his gilded cage. His reflection stares back from the window. Pale, exhausted, bandaged. He looks like someone who just made a deal with the devil. Two devils. He sinks onto the bed. The sheets are softer than anything he's ever touched. His body aches. His mind races. What have I done? Outside, the city glitters. Somewhere out there, a child waits to be rescued. Luca closes his eyes and whispers to the empty room. Hold on. I'm still here. I didn't forget you. The fortress doesn't answer. 3 days pass. Luca counts them by sunrise. The woman, he learns her name is Helena, brings meals 3 times a day. She never speaks beyond instructions. Eat, drink, rest. The food is good. Better than anything he's used to. Tastes like ash in his mouth anyway. His wound heals slowly. The stitches pull when he moves. He changes the bandages himself after Helena shows him how. The room becomes familiar. 12 steps from the bed to the window. 8 steps to the bathroom. 15 steps to the door that won't open from the inside. He presses his ear against it sometimes. Listens to the fortress breathing. Voices in distant hallways. Footsteps that never pause at his door. The occasional sound of something breaking. Once he hears gunfire. 3 shots. Rapid. Then silence. His hands shake for an hour afterward. On the 4th day, Helena brings breakfast and leaves the door open. Just slightly. You can walk the halls, she says. Stay in this wing. Don't enter any rooms. Don't go downstairs. Freedom, measured in hallway steps. Luca explores his prison. The east wing is elegant and empty. More locked doors. Windows that show the harbor. Art on the walls, expensive paintings that probably cost more than lives. He passes a room with voices inside. Stops. Listens. Can't find the location. A man's voice, stressed. Then find harder. Marco's voice, cold as ice. I want the Russo crew buried before the week ends. They're asking for 5 million now. They know I don't negotiate with corpses. Find them. Footsteps approach the door. Luca walks quickly away, heart hammering. That night he can't sleep. Lies awake staring at the ceiling. Thinking about small hands. Dark curls. A child somewhere scared and alone. I tried. I'm still trying. But what can he do now? He's locked in a fortress, owned by men who see him as a bargaining chip they've already cashed in. The 5th day, Matteo appears. No warning. Luca is standing at the window when he hears the door open. Turns to find the alpha in the doorway, watching him with those steel-gray eyes. You're healing, Matteo observes. Yes. Good. Silence stretches. Luca's pulse races. He's been alone with one of them before, on the rooftop in the car. But this feels different. Intimate somehow. No rain to hide in. No darkness to blur the edges. Just an Omega and an Alpha in a locked room. I have a question, Matteo says. Luca nods. Why him? Specifically, children are taken every day in this city. Why did this one matter to you? The answer comes easily. Honestly, because I was taken once too, when I was 6. I know what it feels like to think no one's coming. Matteo's expression shifts. Something flickers behind his eyes. Who came for you? No one. Luca's voice is soft. I escaped on my own. Took 3 years. The Alpha stares at him for a long moment, then turns and walks away without another word. The door closes. The lock clicks, but something has changed. Luca can feel it in the air, like the moment before lightning strikes. The next evening, dinner arrives differently. Instead of Helena placing a tray inside his door, she appears with an instruction. You'll eat with them tonight. Luca's stomach drops. Both of them? Yes, follow me. She leads him through hallways he hasn't seen, down a staircase, into a dining room that's all dark wood and crystal chandeliers. A table long enough to seat 20. Only 3 places are set. Matteo and Marco already sit at opposite ends. Luca's place is in the middle, equidistant from both. Perfectly balanced, or perfectly trapped. He sits. His hands fold in his lap. The chair is more comfortable than his bed used to be. Matteo pours wine without asking if Luca wants any. Fills 3 glasses. The liquid catches light like blood. Eat, Marco says. Luca picks up his fork. The food is elaborate. Things he doesn't recognize, prepared by someone who understands art. He takes small bites, swallows even though he's not hungry. They eat in silence. The chandeliers hum overhead. Somewhere a clock ticks. Finally, Marco speaks. "Tell us about yourself." Luca's fork pauses. "What do you want to know?" "Anything real." "What's real?" "That he's nobody? That he's spent his entire life invisible, forgettable, easy to overlook?" "I work at a bookstore," he says quietly. "Or I did. I probably don't anymore." "What else?" Matteo's voice. "I live alone. No family. He stops. Starts again. "I volunteer at the children's shelter sometimes." "That's how I met your nephew." Both twins look at him now. Really look. "He came in one day with your sister," Luca continues. "Before she died. He was so small, so curious. He wanted me to read to him. Every week after that, he'd come back, always asking for one more story." His throat tightens. "When I heard he was taken, I couldn't do nothing." "So you stole from us," Marco says. Not a question, a fact. "I borrowed." Luca corrects, then winces. "I know that's not better. I planned to pay it back. I just needed it faster than I could earn it." "You thought you could negotiate with the Russo crew." Matteo leans back in his chair. "You thought money would be enough. I thought anything was worth trying." "Brave or stupid?" Marco observes. "Stupid," Luca agrees. "But also brave. Both can be true." Something almost like a smile touches Matteo's mouth. Almost. They eat more. The silence feels less heavy now. More thoughtful. "Why do you do it?" Luca asks before he can stop himself. "Do what?" Marco's eyes narrow. "This. All of this." Luca gestures vaguely at the fortress around them. The violence, the control, the fear. Most people would never dare ask. Most people value their lives. But Luca already gave his away on a rooftop in the rain. Matteo and Marco exchange a look. Some silent twin communication. Then Matteo speaks. "Because we're good at it. Because our father built this empire and then died leaving us to keep it from crumbling. Because blood demands blood. And if we show weakness, we're dead by morning. And because," Marco adds quietly, "we've never known anything else." The honesty surprises Luca. He expected deflection, threats. "Not this. That sounds lonely," he says. Neither twin responds. But something in their postures shifts. When dinner ends, Helena escorts Luca back to his room. But the next night, they call him to dinner again. And the night after that, the fortress begins to feel less like a prison. Luca walks the halls during the day. Sometimes he finds books in a library he wasn't sure existed. Sometimes he stands at the windows watching ships move across the harbor. The twins are rarely there during daylight. Business, he assumes. The kind conducted in back rooms and abandoned warehouses. But at night, they return. Dinner becomes routine. The three of them at the long table. Conversations that start careful and end honest. Matteo talks about their sister, how she tried to leave this life, how it killed her. Anyway, Marco mentions their father, a man who taught them violence before he taught them words. Luca shares smaller truths. His childhood, the shelters. The way he learned to be invisible because being noticed meant being hurt. "You're not invisible here," Matteo says one night. "I know," Luca replies. "I'm not sure if that's better or worse." The atmosphere shifts on the 8th night. Luca notices it immediately. The air feels heavier, charged, like the moment before a storm breaks. His Omega instincts prickle. Something's wrong. Matteo arrives to dinner late, movements too controlled. Tension radiates from him like heat. Marco watches his twin with concerned eyes. "Are you?" Luca starts. "Fine." Matteo cuts him off. "I'm fine." He's not fine. Luca can smell it. Alpha pheromones bleeding into the air, sharp, overwhelming, barely restrained. Not aggression. Something else. Something that makes Luca's pulse quicken for entirely different reasons. They eat in near silence. Every scrape of fork against plate sounds too loud. Matteo barely touches his food. His hands clench and unclench on the table. Marco finally speaks. "You should go upstairs." "I'm fine," Matteo repeats through gritted teeth. "You're not." Marco's voice is firm. "And Luca's scent is making it worse." Luca's breath catches. "My scent." Neither answers. The silence is confirmation enough. Omega's scents intensify with emotion. Fear, joy, stress, attraction. "I should go," Luca says quietly, standing. "Stay." Matteo's command freezes him in place. "Just stay. Don't move." Luca sits. His heart hammers. He watches Matteo struggle with something invisible, something chemical and primal. "We need to tell him," Marco says. "Not yet." "Matteo." "Not yet." But the truth is already obvious, hanging in the air between them like smoke. Luca swallows. "Tell me what?" Thunder rolls outside. The weather matches the tension. Marco stands, moves to the window. Twin alphas don't usually survive each other. The instinct to compete, to dominate, it destroys most siblings. "We only survived because we're identical, bonded by blood in ways others aren't." "I don't understand," Luca says. "You wouldn't." Matteo's voice is strained. "You're not a twin." "But there's a complication," Marco continues. "When twins like us encounter an Omega we both," he stops, searches for words. "An Omega we're both drawn to." The pieces click together. Luca's eyes widen. "Both of you." Matteo laughs, but there's no humor in it. "You think we kept you alive out of mercy? That we feed you and talk to you and let you roam our home because we're suddenly charitable? You said it was a deal." "The pup." "The pup was an excuse," Matteo interrupts. "We would have found him regardless. We wanted you before you even offered yourself." The confession hangs in the air. Luca should be afraid. He should feel trapped. Instead, he feels his own scent shift. Sweeten. Respond to what theirs is screaming. "I'm making it worse," he whispers. "Yes," both twins say simultaneously. Storm wind rattles the windows. "I should leave." "You should," Marco agrees. "But we won't let you." The storm breaks at midnight. Luca wakes to thunder shaking the windows. Rain hammers against glass like it's trying to break through. Lightning illuminates his room in violent flashes. He should sleep. Can't. Something feels wrong. The air pressure. The silence between thunder. The way his instincts scream that danger is close. Then he hears it. Raised voices. Not angry. Desperate. He leaves his room. The hallway is dark except for emergency lights. He follows the sound downstairs he's never taken, through doors he's never opened. The training room. He stops in the doorway. Matteo is on his knees in the center of the room, fists slammed into the floor, breathing ragged. His shirt is torn. Sweat soaks through fabric. The scent rolling off him is overwhelming. Alpha in distress, control shredding. Marco stands nearby, fists clenched, looking shaken in a way Luca has never seen. "Matteo." Marco's voice is strained. "You have to calm down." "I can't." Matteo's words come out broken. His scent is everywhere. In the walls, the furniture, my fucking lungs. Then we send him away. "No." The word is a growl. "No." Luca's breath catches. They sense him. Both twins turn. Marco's expression shudders. "You shouldn't be here." "What's happening?" Luca steps inside. Lightning flashes behind him, casting his shadow long across the floor. "What's happening," Marco says tightly, "is that you're driving him insane. Your Omega scent, it's not just attractive. It's triggering something we can't control." "Then tell me what to do." Luca moves closer. "Tell me how to help." "You can't." Matteo looks up. His eyes are different, brighter, almost glowing. "This is what happens when twin alphas want the same Omega. We compete, we fight, we destroy ourselves before we destroy each other. Unless," Marco adds quietly, "the Omega chooses." "Chooses what?" One of us. Mateo's voice cracks. You choose one, the other backs away. That's how we survive this. Luca stares at them. You want me to pick between you? We want you safe from us, Marco corrects. This isn't. We didn't bring you here to torture you with this. You think this is torture? Luca's voice rises. You think being forced to choose which of you gets discarded is somehow protection? Thunder drowns out their response. Luca crosses the room, kneels in front of Matteo. The alpha's whole body is trembling, fighting something fundamental. Look at me, Luca says softly. Matteo does. Those burning eyes meet his. You took me in when I was bleeding, Luca continues. You made a deal when you could have killed me. You feed me, talk to me. You've shown me more kindness than anyone in my life. That's not kindness, Matteo grits out. That's selfishness. We wanted you close. Then be selfish. Luca reaches out slowly, carefully, places his hand over Matteo's trembling fist. Both of you. The effect is immediate. Matteo's breathing steadies. The trembling eases. His scent shifts from distress to something deeper. Hunger, yes, but also relief. Marco stares, stunned. How? I don't know. Luca's hand is still on Matteo's. But I'm not afraid of you. I chose you on that rooftop. Both of you. I didn't know what that meant then. He looks between them. But I know now. You can't choose both, Marco says. That's not how this works. Twin alphas sharing an omega, it's forbidden. Unstable. Dangerous. Everything about this is dangerous. Luca's voice is steady now. You're mafia kings. I'm a bookstore worker who stole from you. A child is missing. Nothing about any of this is safe or sane or allowed. Lightning illuminates his face. So why does that one thing matter? Matteo's hand turns beneath his, fingers threading through Luca's. The touch is electric, grounding. Because we could hurt you, Matteo whispers. Competing for you, fighting over you. Then don't compete. Luca looks at Marco. You said you're bonded by blood, that you survived because you're identical. So survive this too. Marco moves closer, slowly, like approaching something wild. You have no idea what you're offering, he says. I know exactly what I'm offering. Luca's voice doesn't waver. The same thing I offered on that rooftop. Everything I am. His eyes meet theirs. I'm not afraid of you, either of you, and I won't choose between you. The storm rages outside. Inside, something fundamental shifts. Marco kneels. Now both twins are at his level. Their scents wrap around him. Pine and smoke and something magnetic that makes his omega instincts sing. Then don't fight it alone, Luca whispers. Matteo's hand tightens on his. Marco's hand settles at his back. And for the first time since the rooftop, Luca feels like he understands what he walked into. Not ownership, not imprisonment, something far more dangerous, something that feels impossibly like belonging. Dawn breaks gray and cold. Luca wakes in his own bed, unsure how he got there. Memory is fractured. The training room, the storm, hands that guided him upstairs with unexpected gentleness. He's still dressed. The sheets are tangled. His heart races like he ran miles. Everything feels different. The air, the fortress, his own skin. He showers, changes clothes. His reflection in the mirror looks the same but isn't. When he opens his door, Helena is waiting. They want you downstairs, she says. Her expression is unreadable. Now, Luca follows her to an office he's never seen. All dark wood and leather, maps on the walls, screens showing security footage. Matteo and Marco stand at a desk covered in papers. They both turn when he enters. Their eyes track his movements. Sharper now, more focused. We found him, Matteo says without preamble. Luca's breath stops. The pup. Yes. Marco taps a map. Russo crew is holding him in a warehouse. East Docks, Section 12. Is he? Luca can't finish. Alive, Matteo confirms. Scared but unharmed. They're using him as bait now. They know we're coming. Then it's a trap. Obviously, Marco's smile is cold. But they don't know we know that. Matteo crosses to a weapons cabinet, opens it. The contents gleam, guns, knives, things Luca doesn't want to identify. We move tonight, Matteo says. Fast extraction. Minimal casualties. You mean they're casualties? Luca corrects quietly. Yes. Luca swallows. I'm coming with you. Both twins look at him like he suggested flying. No, they say simultaneously. He knows me. Luca's voice is firm. If he's scared, if he's been locked away for days, seeing a familiar face might get you killed. Marco interrupts. This isn't a negotiation. You stay here. Everything between us is a negotiation. Luca meets their gazes. You said I belong to you, both of you. That means I have a say. Not in this, Matteo says. Especially in this. Luca steps forward. I won't be locked away safe while a child suffers because of choices I made. I stole that money. I started this. Let me help finish it. The twins exchange that look again. Silent communication. Finally, Marco speaks. You stay in the car. You don't enter the warehouse. You don't engage with anyone. But if we get him out, Matteo adds, if he needs calming down, you're there. It's not agreement. It's compromise. Luca nods. Okay. And if anything goes wrong, if we tell you to run, you run. Marco's voice is steel. No arguments. No heroics. You survive. Understand. I understand. Matteo crosses the room, stops in front of Luca. His hand lifts, hesitates, then cups Luca's face with surprising gentleness. If you die because of this, Matteo says quietly, I'll burn the entire city down. Then I'll try not to die. Marco joins them. His hand settles at Luca's waist. We leave at sunset. 6 hours. Rest while you can. But none of them move. They stand there, Omega between two alphas breathing the same air. Outside, Havenfall prepares for nightfall. Inside, 3 people prepare for war. The warehouse squats at the edge of the docks like a wounded animal. Rusted metal, broken windows, the kind of place where people disappear and nobody asks questions. Luca sits in the back of the black car, watching. His heart hammers so hard he can feel it in his throat. The twins are silent in the front seats, checking weapons with practiced efficiency. 4 other cars arrived before them, men in dark clothes with cold eyes. The twin soldiers. They move in formation, surrounding the warehouse. Remember, Marco says without turning around, you stay here, engine running, driver ready. I remember. Matteo glances back. Their eyes meet in the rearview mirror. Something passes between them. Promise, a threat, prayer. Then they're gone. Luca watches them disappear into shadows, counts his heartbeats, tries not to imagine all the ways this could go wrong. 2 minutes of silence, then gunfire, sharp, rapid, echoing off metal and water. The driver's hands tighten on the wheel. Luca's nails dig into his palms. More gunfire, shouting. Something explodes. Smoke rises from the warehouse's north side. Luca's Omega instincts scream. He should run, should hide, should do anything except sit here useless while people die. Then the warehouse's side door slams open. Marco appears first, carrying something small wrapped in a blanket. Behind him, Matteo covers their exit, firing backwards into the building. Go! The driver shouts into his radio. The other cars peel out. Tires scream on wet pavement. Marco runs toward them. Luca throws open the car door. Get in! Get in! Marco slides inside, breathing hard. The bundle in his arms shifts. A small face appears. Dark curls. Wide, terrified eyes. The pup. Luca! The child's voice is tiny. Broken. I'm here. Luca reaches for him. You're safe now. Matteo appears. Blood on his shirt, not his. He throws himself into the car. Drive! They speed away from the docks. Gunfire follows them. Something hits the back window but doesn't break it. Bulletproof glass. Of course, the pup is crying, shaking. Luca holds him close, making soft sounds, the way he used to during story time at the shelter. You're okay. We've got you. Nobody's going to hurt you. The child clings to him like a lifeline. Behind them, the warehouse erupts. Not an explosion. Something worse. Fire. Spreading fast. Consuming everything. The Russo crew? Luca asks quietly over the pup's head. Won't be a problem anymore, Marco says flatly. They drive through Havenfall's industrial district, past shipping containers and chain link fences. The pup's sobs gradually quiet. He's exhausted, traumatized, but alive. Matteo's hand finds Luca's, squeezes once. His knuckles are split, blood crusts under his nails. You're hurt, Luca says. I'm fine. You're bleeding. I'm fine, Matteo repeats, but he doesn't let go of Luca's hand. Back at the fortress, Helena has prepared a room. Soft lights, warm blankets. She takes the pup with gentle efficiency, murmuring about hot chocolate and clean clothes. Luca watches the child disappear down the hallway. Relief makes his knees weak. He did it. They did it. The pup is home. Sit, Marco says. Before you fall. Luca sits. The adrenaline is crashing. His hands shake. Everything that just happened hits him at once. People died tonight. The twins killed them. Without hesitation. Without remorse. And Luca should be horrified. He's not. He's relieved. Hey! Matteo kneels in front of him. Stay with me. Look at me. Luca focuses on steel-gray eyes. You did good, Matteo says. He knew you. That helped. You could have died, Luca whispers. But we didn't. Marco sits beside Luca. His hand settles on Luca's back. This is what we are. What we do. If that changes things. It doesn't, Luca interrupts. I knew what you were on that rooftop. This doesn't change anything. Both twins go still. Then Matteo says quietly, you should rest. It's been. But Luca's already falling. Marco catches him, lifts him easily. I've got you, Marco murmurs. And Luca, for the first time in his life, believes it. Luca wakes in a bed that isn't his. Larger, softer. The sheets smell like pine and smoke. Their bed. He sits up slowly. His body aches like he fought instead of just witnessed. Memory returns in pieces, the warehouse, the gunfire, the pup's small face. Morning light filters through curtains he doesn't recognize. The room is massive, minimalist, masculine. 2 nightstands, 2 lamps, 1 bed. The door opens. Marco enters carrying a tray. Coffee, toast, something that smells like eggs. You collapsed, Marco says, answering the unasked question. We brought you here. You slept 14 hours. The pup is fine, eating, talking. Helena's with him. Luca exhales, takes the coffee Marco offers. The warmth grounds him. You carried me here? Yes. Why not my room? Marco's expression shifts. Would you have preferred that? Luca sips coffee instead of answering. The silence stretches. Matteo appears in the doorway. Clean clothes, bandaged knuckles. He looks exhausted and wired simultaneously. You're awake, he observes. Apparently, Matteo enters, sits on the bed's edge. Not touching but close enough that Luca feels his warmth. We need to talk, Marco says. Luca's stomach tightens. About what happens now? Marco sets down the tray. The pup is safe. The Russo crew is eliminated. Your debt is paid. The deal. Luca had almost forgotten. He offered himself in exchange for the pup's rescue. The rescue succeeded, which means he's free to go. You can leave, Matteo says quietly. We won't stop you. You fulfilled your end. We fulfilled ours. The words should bring relief. They bring panic instead. I see. Luca's voice is carefully neutral. Or, Marco continues, you can stay. Luca looks up. Not because of a deal, Marco clarifies. Not because you owe us anything, but because you want to. Why would I want to stay? The question comes out sharper than intended. I've seen what you do, who you are, the violence, the control. Exactly. Mateo's eyes burn into his. You know what we are. And last night, you didn't look away. You didn't judge. You held a child and told him he was safe while we had blood under our nails. Most Omegas would run, Marco adds. Most people would. I'm not most people. No. Mateo's hand moves. Slowly. Settles on Luca's knee. You're not. The touch sends electricity through Luca's veins. We were empty before you walked in bleeding on that rooftop, Mateo says. This fortress was a tomb. Our lives were violence and silence. Nothing else. You changed that, Marco finishes. You made us remember what it feels like to want something beyond survival. Luca's throat tightens. What do you want? You. Both twins say it simultaneously. But only if you want us, Mateo adds. Not as payment, not as obligation, as choice. The coffee cup trembles in Luca's hands. He sets it down before he spills it. I offered myself because I was desperate, Luca says slowly. Because a child needed saving and I had nothing else to give. Both twins tense, preparing for rejection. But if I stay now, Luca looks between them. If I stay, it won't be because of what I owed. It'll be because somewhere between that rooftop and now, I stopped being afraid of you. He takes a breath. I stopped wanting to leave. Mateo's hand tightens on his knee. I want to stay, Luca whispers. Not as your prisoner, not as your bargain. As ours, Marco supplies. Just ours. Yes. Mateo moves first, cups Luca's face with both hands. His thumb traces Luca's cheekbone. Then stay, Mateo says. Stay and let us protect you. Let us want you. Let us. Luca leans forward, closes the distance. The kiss is soft, tentative. Everything violence isn't. When he pulls back, Marco is there. His hand at Luca's waist, his forehead against Luca's temple. Ours, Marco repeats. Yours, Luca agrees. Outside, the city wakes. Inside, something new begins. The change spreads through Havenfall like smoke. Word travels fast in criminal circles. The De Luca twins wiped out the Russo crew in a single night, burned their operations to ash, left no survivors. Their power doubles overnight. But what truly shakes the city isn't the violence. It's what comes after. The twins keep an Omega at their side, not hidden in a back room, not locked away like a secret, protected, visible, claimed. Luca learns what it means to belong to Alpha Kings. He walks the fortress freely now. No locked doors, no restrictions. The soldiers nod respectfully when he passes. Helena smiles at him over breakfast. The pup follows him everywhere, small hand tucked into his, big eyes still haunted but healing. Will you read to me? The child asks one afternoon. Of course. They sit in the library. Luca reads about dragons and kingdoms while the pup curls against his side. Mateo works at the desk nearby, occasionally glancing up with an expression that's almost soft. These moments feel impossible. Domestic, like a life Luca never dared imagine. At night, he sleeps between them. Sometimes it's just sleep, exhausted bodies finding warmth. Other times it's more. Hands that explore, mouths that claim. Two alphas learning to share without competing. Shouldn't work. Twin alphas aren't meant to share omegas. The instinct to dominate, to possess exclusively, should tear them apart. But they're identical, bonded by blood, and Luca somehow fits into the spaces between them. You're thinking too loud, Marco murmurs one night. His arm is draped over Luca's waist. Mateo sleeps on Luca's other side, breathing steady. Just wondering if this is real, Luca admits. It's real. How long will it last? Marco's hand tightens. As long as you want it to. Forever, then, Luca whispers. He feels Marco smile against his shoulder. The fortress becomes home. Luca helps with the pup, enrolling him in a private school, taking him to therapy, reading stories before bed. He learns the rhythms of the twins' business, when to speak, when to stay silent, when his presence soothes and when it distracts. He never asks about the bodies, the violence that happens in shadows, but he's there when they return, washing blood from Matteo's knuckles, sitting with Marco while he processes whatever darkness he encountered. "You should be horrified," Matteo says one evening. "Probably," Luca agrees. "But you're not." "No." Luca meets his gaze. "I know what you are, what you do. And I also know you saved a child when no one else could. You took in a bleeding Omega when you could have killed him. You're capable of terrible things and beautiful things." He touches Matteo's face. "I choose to see both." 3 months after the warehouse, Luca walks through Havenfall's downtown. The pup holds his hand. They're getting ice cream. A normal afternoon. People stare. Everyone knows who he is now. The Omega who tamed the De Luca twins. The one who walks freely between two alpha kings. Some look with envy, others with fear, a few with something like hope. If the monsters can be softened, maybe the city can change too. 2 black cars trail them at a distance. Protection. The twins don't take chances. "Luca," the pup looks up at him. "Are you happy here?" The question catches him off guard. Is he happy in this life he never planned? With men whose hands deal death and hold him gently? In a fortress that was a cage and became a home? "Yes," Luca says honestly. "I am." The pup smiles. "Good, because you're family now. Uncle Matteo said so." Uncle, family, words that once meant nothing to Luca. They return to the fortress as sunset paints the harbor gold. Matteo and Marco wait in the entrance. They both relax visibly when Luca and the pup walk in safely. "Good day?" Marco asks. "Very good," Luca confirms. That night, the 4 of them eat dinner together. The long table doesn't feel empty anymore. The fortress doesn't echo with ghosts. Later, after the pup is asleep, Luca stands at the bedroom window. The city glows beneath him, beautiful and broken, just like them. Matteo's arms wrap around him from behind. Marco joins them, completing the circle. "What are you thinking?" Matteo asks. Luca leans into them both. "I'm thinking about a rooftop in the rain," he says quietly. About a desperate Omega who offered everything because he thought he had nothing to lose. "And now," Marco's voice is soft against his ear. "Now I know I had everything to gain." He turns in their arms, looks between them. "I went up there ready to die. Instead, I found a reason to live." Matteo kisses his forehead. Marco's hand settles at his waist. Outside, Havenfall pulses with violence and beauty. Inside, 3 people who shouldn't work together create something nobody can challenge. Not a deal anymore, not ownership, not imprisonment, something far more powerful. A kingdom built on sacrifice, on loyalty, on love strong enough to tame monsters, and on a rooftop where an Omega once stood bleeding in the rain, ready to give up everything, only to gain everything instead. The threat arrives on a Tuesday. Luca is in the library with the pup when Helena appears in the doorway, her face tight with worry. "They need you," she says quietly. "Now." Luca's stomach drops. He marks their page, kisses the pup's forehead. "Keep reading. I'll be right back." But he won't be. He can feel it. The office is crowded when he enters. Matteo and Marco stand at the desk, surrounded by soldiers. Maps, photographs. Everyone's tension fills the room like smoke. "What happened?" Luca asks. Matteo looks up. His expression is carefully blank, which means something terrible. "The Moretti family," he says. Luca freezes. "My family? They're not your family." Marco's voice is ice. "They abandoned you when you were 6, left you in that shelter, never looked back. Why do they matter now?" Matteo slides a photograph across the desk. An older man, graying hair, cold eyes that Luca recognizes from nightmares. His father. "Carmine Moretti runs the Northern Syndicate," Matteo explains. "We've stayed out of each other's territory for years, but now he's heard rumors. About us. About you. About an Omega with his last name living with his enemies, Marco adds. Luca's hands clench. He doesn't get to claim me. Not after. He's not trying to claim you, Matteo interrupts. He's trying to use you, saying we kidnapped his son, that we're holding you against your will. That's insane. I chose to stay. The city doesn't know that. Marco leans against the desk. They see an Omega living with alpha mafia kings. They assume the worst. So we tell them the truth. The truth. Matteo's laugh is bitter. That you offered yourself as payment? That sounds like coercion. That you stayed because you wanted to? That sounds like Stockholm Syndrome. Luca's chest tightens. Then what do we do? The twins exchange that look again. Carmine wants a meeting, Marco says. Tomorrow night. Neutral ground. He claims he wants to discuss terms. It's a trap, Luca whispers. Obviously. Matteo's jaw clenches. But if we refuse, he'll escalate. Attack our operations. Target our people. He'll use your name to justify it. Make it look like he's rescuing his poor kidnapped Omega son, Marco adds bitterly. Luca feels sick. His past, the one he escaped, the one he buried, is reaching for him with skeletal fingers. I'll go with you, Luca says. Absolutely not. Both twins speak simultaneously. He's my father. This is about me. You should stay here, Matteo interrupts. Where it's safe. Where he can't touch you. I'm not a child. Luca's voice rises. And I'm not helpless. You taught me that. We taught you to survive, Marco says. Not to walk into obvious danger. Everything with you is obvious danger. Luca steps closer. But I walked in anyway. I stayed anyway. Because that's what you do for people you. He stops. The word hangs unspoken. Love. The silence stretches. Finally, Matteo speaks. If you come, you follow our lead. You stay between us. You don't engage with him unless we say, fine. And if things go wrong, I run, Luca finishes. I know, but running isn't what he's good at. Not anymore. That night, Luca lies awake between the twins. Their breathing is steady, but he knows they're not sleeping either. Tell me about him, Marco says quietly. Your father. Luca stares at the ceiling. He's a monster. Different from you, but still a monster. How? You kill for power, for survival, for family. Luca's voice is barely audible. He kills because he enjoys it, because cruelty is easier than love. Matteo's hand finds his in the darkness. He won't touch you, Matteo promises. Not while we breathe. That's what I'm afraid of, Luca whispers, because he knows his father. And he knows exactly how far the man will go to destroy what he can't control. The neutral ground is a restaurant that closed years ago. Empty tables, dusty chandeliers, windows that haven't been cleaned since before Luca was abandoned. Appropriate somehow. They arrive at midnight. 2 cars, 8 soldiers. Matteo and Marco flank Luca as they enter through the back. Carmine Moretti waits at a table in the center of the room. He looks older than Luca remembers. Gray hair, lines carved deep around his mouth. But his eyes, those are the same. Cold, calculating, empty of anything resembling warmth. For men stand behind him, armed, watching. Luca. Carmine's voice is smooth. It's been a long time. Not long enough, Luca replies. Matteo's hand settles at the small of his back. A reminder. Stay calm. Stay close. You look well, Carmine continues, ignoring the hostility. Healthy. I'm told you've been living with the De Luca twins. How? Convenient. Convenient. Marco's voice could cut glass. An Omega appearing in your territory, stealing from you, then mysteriously staying. Carmine's smile doesn't reach his eyes. One might think you coerced him. One would be wrong, Luca says. Would they? Carmine leans forward. You disappeared for 15 years. No contact. No word. Then suddenly you're living with my enemies. You're not my enemy, Matteo says carefully. We've maintained peace. Peace requires balance. Carmine's gaze shifts. You've grown too powerful. Eliminated the Russo crew. Expanded your territory. Taken something that belongs to me. I don't belong to you, Luca snaps. You gave up that right when you left me in a shelter with nothing. For the first time, something flickers in Carmine's expression. That was necessary. You were weak, a liability. I couldn't have an Omega son in my world. So you threw me away. I saved your life. Carmine's voice hardens. Do you think you would have survived? A soft Omega in a mafia family? You would have been used, broken, killed. Instead, I was alone, terrified, waiting for someone who never came. And look at you now. Carmine gestures. Alive, strong enough to survive with Alpha Kings. Perhaps I did you a favor. Luca's hands shake with rage. Marco's arm wraps around his waist, holding him steady. What do you want? Matteo asks flatly. What's mine? Carmine's eyes lock on Luca. My son, my blood. He comes back with me, and we forget this happened. I'm not going anywhere with you. You don't have a choice. Carmine's smile is cruel now. I'm your father. Legal rights supersede. Whatever this is. He's not a child, Marco growls. He's a grown Omega who made his own choice. Did he? Carmine tilts his head. Or did two powerful alphas manipulate a desperate, lonely boy into thinking he wanted this? The accusation hangs in the air like poison. You know nothing about what I want, Luca says. His voice shakes but doesn't break. You never did. You saw weakness where there was strength. You saw liability where there was potential. You were wrong about me then, and you're wrong now. Am I? Carmine stands. Then prove it. Walk out of here alone. Show the city you're not their prisoner. I'm not their prisoner, Luca says. I'm their partner. The word lands like a bomb. Carmine's expression darkens. Partners? With mafia kings? You're delusional. I'm clear-eyed. Luca steps forward, breaking from the twins' protective stance. You taught me that family is a weapon, something to use and discard. They taught me family is something you choose, something you protect. He looks back at Matteo and Marco. I choose them. Carmine's face twists. Then you're a fool. Maybe. Luca turns back. But I'm a free fool, which is more than I ever was with you. Silence. Then Carmine's hand moves, reaches for something inside his jacket. Everything happens at once. Matteo shoves Luca behind him. Marco draws his gun. Soldiers on both sides reach for weapons. Don't, Marco says quietly. You pull that gun, everyone in this room dies, including you. Carmine freezes. His hand hovers. This isn't over, he says. Yes, Matteo replies. It is. They leave. Fast. Clean. But Luca knows the truth. His father doesn't accept endings. He creates them. It happens 3 nights later. Luca wakes to the sound of breaking glass. Not close. Somewhere downstairs. But close enough that his Omega instincts scream danger. Matteo is already moving, pulling on clothes, grabbing his gun from the nightstand. Stay here, he orders. Lock the door. What's happening? I don't know yet. Matteo kisses him once. Hard. But stay here. He's gone before Luca can argue. Marco appears in the doorway seconds later. Get dressed. Quickly. Luca obeys. Pulls on clothes with shaking hands. Is it? The Moretti family. They're hitting us. How many? Enough. Marco's expression is grim. They're not trying to take the fortress. They're trying to take you. Luca's blood runs cold. More gunfire. Closer now. Shouting. The sound of bodies hitting floors. The pup? Luca gasps. Where? Helena has him. Safe room. Reinforced. Marco grips his shoulders. But we need to move. They know which room you're in. How? Does it matter? Marco pulls him toward the door. Come on. They run through hallways Luca knows by heart. Emergency lights strobe red. Smoke fills the air. Something's burning. A A soldier appears, bloodied but functional. West stairwell is compromised. East is. Gunfire cuts him off. He drops. Marco returns fire without hesitation. Other way. Move. They reverse direction. Luca's heart hammers so hard he can taste it. This is real. This is happening. His father is actually. An explosion rocks the building. The floor buckles. Marco grabs Luca before he falls. They stumble into a side room. Another office, filled with smoke. Matteo, Marco says into his radio. Position. Static. Then, south entrance. Holding but barely. Where's Luca? With me. East wing. We're pinned. Hold position. I'm coming. Negative. Too many hostiles between us. Wheel. The door bursts open. 3 men. Moretti soldiers. Guns raised. Marco moves like violence incarnate. 2 shots. 2 bodies. The third man gets a round off. Marco grunts. Staggers. No! Luca catches him. Blood spreads across Marco's shirt. Left shoulder. Not fatal but bad enough. The third soldier levels his gun at Luca. The boss wants you alive, he says. But he didn't say unharmed. Luca's mind races. No weapons. No training. Just an Omega and an injured Alpha against an armed soldier. Then Matteo appears in the doorway behind the soldier. Silent. Lethal. 1 shot. The soldier drops. Marco. Matteo's voice cracks when he sees the blood. I'm fine. Marco's breathing is labored. Get him out. Not without you. I'll slow you down. Then we all slow down. Matteo helps Marco stand. Move. They navigate through chaos. Bodies on the ground. Smoke obscuring vision. The fortress that was a home is now a war zone. They reach the garage. 2 cars remain. Matteo shoves Luca toward one. Drive. Matteo orders. East docks. Safe house. You remember the address. I'm not leaving without. You are. Marco's hand grips Luca's face. Blood stains his palm. Because if they take you, your father wins. And we don't lose. Understand. Tears burn Luca's eyes. I can't. You can. Matteo's voice is steel. You survived 15 years alone. You survived us. You'll survive this. We'll find you, Marco promises. But you need to go. Now. An explosion somewhere above them. The ceiling cracks. I love you, Luca gasps. The words rush out, desperate and honest. Both of you. I love you. Matteo's eyes widen. Marco's breath catches. Then live, Matteo says. So we can say it back. He shoves Luca into the car. Slams the door. The garage door opens. Gunfire peppers the walls. Luca drives. Away from the fortress. Away from the twins. Away from everything he's built. His hands shake on the wheel. Tears blur his vision. But he drives. Because they told him to survive. And he won't let them down. The safe house is a warehouse by the docks. Luca parks inside. Locks the doors. Sits in darkness with his phone clutched in shaking hands. No calls. No texts. The silence is worse than gunfire. He waits. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like days. Finally, his phone buzzes. Unknown number. His stomach drops. He answers. Luca. His father's voice. Smooth. Satisfied. I'm glad you're safe. Where are they? Luca's voice breaks. What did you do? I made my point. That you're mine. That taking you has consequences. I was never yours. Biology disagrees. Carmine pauses. I have a proposition. Come home. Back to the family. And I'll let your alphas live. You're lying. Am I? Right now, they're bleeding out in what's left of their fortress. Marco took 3 bullets. Matteo took 2. My men have them surrounded. Luca can't breathe. But if you come back, Carmine continues, I'll call them off. Your alphas survive. You come home. Everyone wins. Except me. You'll be where you belong. With family. They're my family, Luca says. Not you. Never you. Then they die. Your choice. The line goes dead. Luca stares at the phone. His hands shake so hard he drops it. Two options, both impossible. Go back to his father, become a prisoner again, undo everything he's built and save the twins. Or stay free and let the men he loves bleed out. No choice at all. He picks up the phone, dials the number back. "I'm coming," he says when Carmine answers. "But I want proof they're alive. Now." A pause, then sounds of movement, heavy breathing. "Luca," Matteo's voice, strained. "Don't. Proof enough?" Carmine asks. "You have 1 hour. Come to the North District warehouse. Alone. Or I start sending pieces of them back to you." The line dies again. Luca sits in the darkness. An hour. Not enough time to get help. Not enough time to plan. Only enough time to choose. He starts the car. The North District warehouse is massive. Empty. The kind of place where screams echo and nobody hears. Luca parks outside. Gets out. His legs barely support him. The main door is open. Inside, emergency lights cast everything in red. Shadows twist into monsters. "I'm here," Luca calls. His voice echoes. Footsteps. Multiple. Soldiers emerge from the darkness. 8, 10. Too many. And then Carmine appears. Behind him, Matteo and Marco are on their knees. Bloodied. Bound. Guns pressed to their heads. "No," Luca starts forward. Soldiers grab him. Hold him back. "You came," Carmine says. "Good. I was starting to think you didn't care about them as much as you claimed." "Let them go," Luca gasps. "I'm here. That's what you wanted. Part of what I wanted." Carmine circles him slowly. "I also want to make sure you understand that choosing them has consequences. That defying me has a price. I understand. I'm here. Just let them." "You misunderstand." Carmine stops in front of him. "I'm not letting them go. I'm making a statement." His hand moves. Gestures. The soldiers cock their guns. "No!" Luca screams. "You said." "I said I'd let them live if you came back. I didn't say for how long." Everything slows down. Luca sees it happening. Sees his father's cruel smile. Sees the soldiers' fingers on triggers. Sees Matteo and Marco's eyes locked on him. Desperate, furious, full of something that looks like goodbye. And something inside Luca breaks. Not breaks. Transforms. Years of being quiet. Being weak. Being invisible. Gone. "You want to kill them?" Luca's voice is strange. Steady. "Then kill me first." He tears free from the soldiers. Runs forward. Places himself between the twins and the guns. "Luca," Matteo growls. "Move," Carmine orders. "No." Luca spreads his arms. "You want a statement? Here it is. You can't control me. You can't break me. And you can't make me watch them die." "Then you all die," Carmine says coldly. "Then we all die." Luca meets his father's eyes. "But we die together. As family. As choice. As something you'll never understand." His voice rises. "And the city will know that you killed your own son. That you're so weak you needed armies to fight 2 wounded alphas. That your power is built on murdering anyone who dares to be free." Silence. Carmine's face twists with rage. His hand raises. Points at Luca. "Shoot." The warehouse explodes with gunfire. But not from Carmine's guns. From everywhere else. The shadows come alive. Soldiers pour through every entrance. Not Moretti soldiers. The Luca soldiers. Dozens. Moving with military precision. And behind them, Helena, the pup. Other faces Luca recognizes from the fortress. Everyone he thought was trapped or dead or captured. Alive. Armed. Furious. The Moretti soldiers panic. Return fire. But they're surrounded. Outnumbered. Outmaneuvered. It's over in minutes. Bodies hit the ground. Smoke fills the air. And when the gunfire stops, Carmine Moretti stands alone. His soldiers dead or surrendered. His power shattered. Helena crosses to the twins. Cuts their bonds with efficient hands. Matteo staggers upright. pulls Luca against him. Marco's good arm wraps around both of them. "You shouldn't have come," Matteo rasps. "I know," Luca whispers. "You could have died." "I know. We told you to run." "I don't run anymore." Luca pulls back enough to look at them both. Blood streaks their faces. Their clothes are torn, but they're alive. "You taught me that." Helena approaches Carmine. Her gun is steady. "Any last words?" Carmine's face is ashen, defeated. "How?" "You underestimated us," Helena says. "Common mistake. You assumed destroying the fortress meant destroying us. You forgot we're not a building. We're a family." She glances at Luca, and family protects its own. Carmine's eyes find Luca. For the first time, there's something besides coldness. Something that might be regret, or just fear of death. "You were always weak," Carmine says. "Even now." "No." Luca's voice is strong. "I was always strong enough to choose love over power. You just never recognized strength when it didn't look like cruelty." Matteo's hand settles on Helena's shoulder. "Enough. Take him to the authorities. Let them handle it." Helena nods. "The evidence of his crimes will be delivered within the hour. He'll spend life in prison. Worse than death, for a man like Carmine. No power, no control. Just decades of waiting for an end that never comes. He's dragged away, screaming, threatening. Nobody listens. The warehouse empties. Soldiers securing the perimeter, cleaning up the evidence. By morning, this will look like nothing happened. Luca, Matteo, and Marco stand in the center of the aftermath. "The fortress," Luca says. "Is it?" "Damaged but standing," Marco replies. "We can rebuild." "Everything can be rebuilt," Matteo adds. His hand cups Luca's face. "But you don't rebuild. If we'd lost you." His voice breaks. Luca reaches up, touches both their faces. "You didn't lose me. You'll never lose me. You said." Marco's voice is rough. "In the garage. You said." "I love you," Luca finishes. "Both of you. I've loved you since the rooftop. Since that first dinner. Since the moment you chose to save a child instead of just killing me and moving on." Matteo's forehead presses against his. "We love you too. So much it terrifies us." "Good." Luca's smile is watery. "Terror means it matters." Marco's laugh is broken. "Everything about you matters." They stand there, three people who shouldn't fit together, who the world said couldn't work, proving the world wrong. The fortress is restored, better than before, stronger, like them. Luca stands on the balcony overlooking Havenfall. The city glows beneath him. Behind him, inside, the pup laughs at something Matteo said. Helena hums while preparing dinner. Soldiers patrol the halls with less tension now. More ease. Home. Real home. Marco joins him on the balcony, wraps his arms around Luca's waist, chin on his shoulder. "What are you thinking?" Marco asks. "That I almost died on a rooftop," Luca says softly. "That I offered myself to monsters. That I thought I was giving up everything. And instead I found everything." Luca leans back into him. "Family, love, purpose. A kingdom I never wanted that somehow became mine anyway. Ours," Marco corrects. "It's ours." Matteo appears. The pup trails behind him, clutching a book. "Read with us?" The child asks Luca. "Always," Luca says. They move inside, settle on the couch. Luca in the middle, twins on either side, pup curled in his lap. The book is one they've read before, a story about dragons and kingdoms and impossible things. Luca reads, his voice steady, his heart full. Outside, the city pulses with its usual violence and beauty. Inside, a family exists that shouldn't be possible. Twin alphas who learn to share instead of compete. An Omega who learned strength doesn't mean cruelty. A child who learned love isn't conditional. What began on a rooftop in the rain, desperate and bleeding and terrified, transformed into something unbreakable. Not just survival, not just power, something far more dangerous and beautiful. A kingdom built on sacrifice that became choice, on fear that became trust, on desperation that became devotion. And when Luca finishes the story, when the pup is yawning and the twins are watching him with expressions that still take his breath away, he realizes something. The story he read about dragons and kingdoms and impossible things isn't fiction. It's their life. And the happily ever after? They're living it, right now, together, forever. In a city built on blood and power, 3 broken souls found something stronger than either, each other. And they built a kingdom not through fear, but through a love that conquered monsters, external and internal. What was offered in desperation became claimed in devotion. What started with rain and blood ended with light and belonging. And on a rooftop where an Omega once stood ready to surrender everything, a new legend was born. Not of victims, but of victors. Not of ownership, but of partnership. A family forged in fire, unbreakable, eternal. Home.